Hello, beautiful people. Once again, you are welcome to this channel. This is a channel that is dedicated to making English less stressful than ever, specifically literature in English. Today, we are starting the journey with a new poem titled She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron. Now, this poem defines true beauty from the perspective of the poet, and she saw a woman walking and she feels that every feature on this woman is a description of perfection in beauty. And this poem can be juxtaposed with, shall I compare it to a Summer's Day by William Shakespeare, since that also looks at in eternal beauty. Sorry, it looks at a beauty that can never be destroyed, that is immortal beauty. At least I got the word now, immortal beauty. So you can just oppose the two poems, but today it's not for sonnet 18 but for She Walks in Beauty by Lord. I'm going to read the poem for you first, like I've always done. Then I will now do stanza by stanza analysis of the poem. Unfortunately, I do not have the poem on the screen here, but I can try to read it for you to get what I mean. So if you are ready, you can now listen to the content of She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron. Alright, so we have She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, that's mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. Oh, I love the rhyme scheme there, the ABAB rhyme scheme. This queen, I have the stanza one I just read, but I will get there later. Then if you continue, stanza 2 of the poem says that one shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens over her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place, and on the cheek and over that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smiles that win, the tints that glow, and tell of days in goodness spent, a mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent. That's a very charming poem. Now let's get straight down, and like I did in the last class where we're looking at the poem by Maya Angelou, Still I Rise, I'm going to do stanza by stanza analysis. So let's start with the first stanza. So in the first stanza, there's an expression of luminous presence, a presence that illuminates light, a presence that shines, a presence that is striking. Now let's get deep down. It says, as you can see on the screen now, she walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies. So here the speaker seems like he has seen a woman walking and decides to compare the beauty of this woman to a clear night filled with stars. So like the night, so the simile there, like the night of cloudless climes. Climes is like a climate, a weather. So the skies in the night have no cloud or has no clouds, and starry skies, but it has a lot of stars. So you can picture the image of a cloud, a sky at night with no clouds but with stars. That beauty that the stars illuminate, that's why I wrote the luminous presence. That beauty that the stars illuminate at that night is compared to the beauty of this woman. Now if you continue, he goes ahead to say that her beauty is a perfect mixture of day and night. A perfect mixture of day and night. Day isn't perfect, it has its own deformities or its own weaknesses. Night isn't all too perfect as well, it has its own weaknesses. But if you bring them together and you pick the perfection here and perfection there, you get this beautiful woman. And he says, and all that's best of day and bright The brightness represents the day. Everything that is best of dark, and bright. Anything and everything that is best of the dark, night and day. So the best or the perfect part of the day and the perfect part of the night is being put together to define true perfection. And this true perfection is symbolically represented by this woman that Lord has seen walking. Now, if you continue reading the poem, the same stanza, Lord did something very interesting here. He used simile, which I'll be treating later, to compare the beauty of this woman to how peaceful and starry or full of stars a night can be. Then, looking at darkness and looking at day, he didn't just look at the darkness and the day, but he chose, or the poet chose, the perfect part of day and perfect part of darkness. All that's best of dark and bright. All that is best of it. So this is trying to define beauty, so you can classify this man as a romantic poet. Romantic poet here doesn't mean writing about romance, but writing about nature and its beauty. And this woman is a typical or an integral part of nature. So you get that beauty of this woman in stanza 1. Basically, or in summary, what I have to say is that the beauty of this woman is balanced, both internally and externally. No part is better than the other. Then her true beauty is natural. That's why the poets compared it to natural phenomena. And this beauty, it represents a kind of harmony between two opposite things, day and night. The best out of both comes together to give you the beauty. Now we can move to, so we have some things there for you to read. No problem, you can just read through that, or you can pause the video and read through that. Now all these things I talk about: the balance of light and dark, the starry radiance, and the night embrace. All together gives you the perfect beauty that Lord Byron is talking about. Now let's move to stanza 2, as you can see on your screen. One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace which waves in every raving tress, and softly lightens over her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place. Good. So here we are looking at a slight change in appearance of this beautiful lady. Her beauty is not so perfect now because her dark hair and glowing face shows her inner purity. So now we are going beyond the external beauty to look at the inner beauty. One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired. Now let's look at how perfection happens through balance. One shade the more, one shade the less is kind of precision, perfectly measured. So one shade the more. So where there seems to be something that is a little bit more to affect her beauty, there is a real less. So one shade the more, an addition; one ray the less, a subtraction. Mathematical precision, mathematical perfection, if you can put it that way. Now a raven is a black bird, okay, and a tress is like a lock of hair. So we are looking at her dark hair, a perfect description of black bird, lock of hair. So the lock of hair, which is the tress, is raven, which is a black. So looking at the beauty of the hair of this woman. Then we have a point that talks about her inner beauty, and I would like to read that. So toughness, where thoughts certainly sweet express, serene, something that is serene, calm, perfect, good, great, if all these adjectives actually were to qualify that. So her beauty reflects her pure soul. This woman that the poet has seen is a perfection of beauty, and her physical appearance and her inner character all together reflect calm thoughts and suggest goodliness or goodness. Thank you for that. Now there are some things you can read there too. Now let's go to stanza 3. So all this unseen grace The raven tress, I told you, is a black bird that describes the black beauty of her hair. The luminous face, which tend to emanate or tends to reflect her inner beauty, and then her pure thoughts. Now we go to stanza 3, which is literally the last stanza here, and it says, or it goes, and on that cheek and over that brow. So now Lord is looking at specific features on the beautiful lady. So soft, so calm, yet eloquent. So soft, her cheeks, her brows, so soft. Now I wonder how he got to know they are soft since he hasn't touched them, but that is how beauty illuminates. There are some beauties that you see and you don't need to touch them, but you could feel them. You could feel the tactile imagery without even touching it. So like you can see on the screen, the things that glow but tells of days in goodness spent. So the pictures you see, they're actually AI generated pictures, by the way. So we are looking at facial imagery, where we talk about the cheeks, the brows, the smiles, and how it glows, how it makes it all together beautiful. And this shows calmness and warmth in her face. And I think a lot of my followers or listeners will agree with me that most people measure beauty from the face. We start the beauty of someone, we start talking about the beauty of something from the face, or the human being or the woman from the face, since the subject here is a woman. Then her expressions reveal that she led a good life and she still lives a good life. Peaceful mind and innocent heart. Never thought evil, never planned evil, and never does evil. So her face speaks without words. They are so eloquent without words. And last line, a heart whose love is innocent. She's an innocent person. Now when you put all these features together, you tend to get a 3 stanzas, 6 lines each, and a 6 line poem is called a sextet, which tries to bring out the immortal beauty or the perfect beauty of a beloved that the poet has seen, starting from her, the way she walks, then her features or bodily features, the nature of her hair, how those bodily features reveals her inner qualities, how those bodily features reveal her innocence, her purity at heart, and all together gives you information or idea about how beautiful she is. And just like the title states, she's not only beautiful, but she carries herself in her beauty even when she walks. Hence, she walks in beauty. In our next lesson, we are going to look at some themes that are in the poem. But you can see timeless beauty, a kind of synthesis that I have here. We have the celestial allures, that is how her beauty mirrors serenity and balance, light of the day and dark, the perfect part of it, perfect harmony. That's why we are looking at how all the features in her body are equal, the equilibrium. So equality here means that when there is one more to destroy, there's one less to balance it. So mathematical precision or perfection. Then finally, how the features on her face speaks volume, speaks eloquently without her uttering a word. See you in the next class. We'll look at some things. Bye bye.